Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this? And good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. The weekend's coming. And I'm joined here with Carol. How you doing, Carol? Good morning. How's your Friday going?
Hey, it's going great, Pedro. Good, fantastic Friday to you.
Yeah. The weekend's coming and the
It's
weather over
here.
here. I know. And the weather over here is cloudy, gloomy, and raining. What about over there? How's the weather over there?
In Dallas, Texas, it's partly cloudy right now, but we're supposed to, shoot up to about 85 with the sunshine. So I'm looking at a pair of shorts that I need to shore my legs today.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like some nice weather right there. That spring good weather.
Yes.
And yep, what's up, guys? Unfortunately, today I won't be able to view the comments, jumping back and forth to certain screens. It will be difficult, but for those that are watching, welcome, good morning, and I'm glad to have you out here. Post a comment. I will look later. So if you drop one, I will read them. So for today, our interest groups for tonight, we're at 5. We had Braille. So if you want to get acquainted with Braille and you know, get your Braille skills more up to date or just brush up on Braille, you could join us today at 5 p.m. Braille. And after that, we have movie night with Blind United. So come join us, hop in. And actually, I do not know the movie. By any chance, you know, Carol?
I do not. I do not. Let me see if I can find it. It may say it, but I'm not real sure. I know it's a new series, so
Mm,
we
mm.
finished the Matrix the last of the 4 of the
Oh yeah,
Matrix.
yeah. The
So
Matrix is a way out movie too. Even the new one I like, but nothing beats like the number one, the
yeah,
OG
the
Matrix.
original OG. There
The
you go.
the OG. Yeah. So join us for Friday if you need something to do. Come, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome to come join us. And and that note, today we are going to talk about voice stream reader. I have ran across an article that was interesting that I think you guys would enjoy. And what is voice stream reader? Voice stream reader is an application that has different voices that you could use, just like voiceover. You could load up a document, a book. You could load up articles in there and have them read to you. They have all types of different features and functionality. This is a popular app for the blind community. Um, I'll be hearing a lot of good things, but there's been a controversy with their new type of paying model they want to switch to, and I have this article that we're gonna listen to and we're gonna break down and talk about it. So let's get into it.
Stream Reader a bright future, but they have breached Apple's guidelines. Apple must protect consumers with swift action. I've just come out of a meeting with a senior leader of Applause Group, which now owns Voice Dream Reader. It will be up to them to make their own announcements in due time, but at this stage I am confident that they will respond to feedback that they have received in a manner that many in our community will consider reasonable. They are working through the finer points of the response, and given the importance of communicating the issues clearly, it's right that they should take that time to do so. Key points. Voice Dream Reader was bought by new owners last year. They moved to a subscription model for new customers shortly after the acquisition. There has been robust debate about whether the pricing represents value for money, but new features and greater stability are promised. Unless existing customers pay, they will lose critical functions of the app on the 1st of May. This violates Apple's app review guidelines. I encourage everyone to contact Voice Dream support and Apple to ensure that the guidelines are enforced. If you use an iPhone and you're blind, you've probably heard of Voice Dream Reader. It was the brainchild of a software developer named Winston Chen, and released in around 2012. Winston was an example of indie mobile app developers who get it right. He engaged with his users, and seemed to understand that many of us in the blind community have certain cultural expectations around the technology we use. It's become a bit of a cliché, but it's true. Nothing about us without us is important to many of us. We want to be listened to. We want to have a hand in the future of the product. If a developer is willing to engage with us meaningfully, great things can happen. Winston issued frequent updates. The app's feature set grew in response to the feedback he got from people like us. As a result of the exceptional app and customer service, by 2013 he was making enough money from what began as a side project that he quit his job and worked on Voice Dream full-time. He developed some other products, some of which still exist, but Reader was always the flagship. Voice Dream Reader caters to several market segments. The app benefits those with dyslexia and other print impairments. There are also people who are not disabled who just want to be read to. While there are other reader apps, I have not found a single app that offers the breadth of features that are in Voice Dream Reader. It would take at least 2 apps to replace it. For me, having one place in which all content I want to read can be found makes things simple. There are also some unique navigation methods that make moving around a document straightforward, and it works well with BRAIL displays. Changing of the guard. Last year, Winston Chen sold the app he created to a company called Applause Group. I was pleased to speak with Kishan Manglani, one of the founders of Applause Group, for a recent episode of the Living Blindfully podcast. When I asked him to explain what Applause Group does, he said, "Applause Group operates mobile apps, and we typically work with independent developers who want to hand over their reins after working on the app for many years, oftentimes for over a decade. You know, these apps often take a lot of time, effort, and passion to build and maintain. And sometimes, the owners want to stop working on them for personal reasons, or to go work on something else, and they want to pass the torch to someone else who can build and maintain the app. We continue where they left off and build, maintain, and support the apps for the communities that they serve."
Okay, okay. Well, guys, as y'all heard, this app helps a lot of people. Even people that don't have a disability, they love the app. They bought the app. The owner of the app, the creator, the app was so good that he quit his job and worked on the app. He made his money. Some folks might not know that they've been bought out by a company now, and that company has decided to add the subscription part to the application. Um, some people are okay with it, some people are not. Um, so I know they violated Apple's terms and conditions for their applications, and I don't feel like they should have the legacy users cut off and not be able to use their application. that that violate Apple's terms and conditions. I actually think that's unfair also. So that's good that Apple has guidelines and things like that. Any opinions, Carol?
I mean, it sounds really beneficial, like you say, to so many people that just like listening, that are dyslexic, that especially are blind, and just violating what was originally there. You know, to me, it seems like I just don't understand. You know, if something is working well for someone, why are you, going to have to charge for a subscription to just get something that you need in your everyday life?
Yeah, that's correct too. And it sounds like this company bought bought the application. This is what these companies do, and they bought this application that the owner probably felt like, okay, it's time for me to step back. I've been working on this. Like they said, they might want to work in other projects, and as we know, he does have other things he works on. He brings to the table also different products. So I understand why he would like to step back. Sometimes it's a lot of work, like they said.
Sure.
And I think this company was like, okay, we're gonna get this application. It's popular. We're gonna switch it up. At first, I thought that they were just gonna switch to a subscription model and not really increment updates and add new features. That will be unfair. Like, you make someone update and not have these updates, these new features added, but you want them to pay a subscription fee.
Of
Um,
course.
hmm They said they were gonna be bring stabilities and other features, but the application is stable. Does have a lot, a lot of features, a lot of features. You could customize it. So people like to import their documents and books into the application. People use it for work. People use it just to have some articles just read, and they might not even be disabled. That's how good the application is. That is
Oh,
drawing,
wow.
yeah, it's drawing crowds and people are buying it. So, in the bottom line of this company that purchase applications and helps them maintain, I think it's also you could imply that it's not only maintaining, but they want to make money also as a company. Sometimes they could misfire.
Yes,
Uh,
of course. Of course. When you get in there and you see something that works well and you say, okay, let's charge for this, more people will protest and more people will not want it. But once you signed up, I mean, you have no choice. It's going to come out regardless, correct?
yeah, it's coming out right now. Not right now. It's still ongoing. I know some people online do not like what they're doing. I know the old owner of the application, he was he was constantly talking to the blind community, getting feedback, and he will respond, he will work with the blind community. It seems like this company that actually bought the application did not. They might have done a little, but they didn't do it like the old owner used to be hands on and talking to people and seeing what he could do to better the app. So
Right.
it could have been a miscommunication there.
Right. And you
Yeah,
get a lot of pushback with that as well. It's always good to inquire, with the individuals that use the app the most. I'm not saying that people that are dyslexic use it more than people that are blind, but I'm sure the majority of people that use it are blind. And, to continuously ask questions to try to improve your product is essential to keep your product out there. So if this
correct.
new company is not even trying to navigate or communicate with us, then and then want to charge us on top of that. That's just uh it's not real user friendly for us.
Yeah, and you're not doing your research.
No, no,
You
you're
know,
right.
to make the right moves, you have to do research and see what the data is saying before, before you try to do something and then you kick yourself in the butt.
Right. And they'll
So,
realize all money ain't good money. So
all right, and that point, we're gonna cut to a commercial break.
all right.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
You are cordially invited to Blind United's scholarship ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Subotnick. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show.
Yep, guys. So we're back. Yeah. So for those that might be listening, hey, what's up on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube? We're live on all 3, guys. So you go ahead, pick your platform, and click that link. And
Click it. Hey.
you know,
Click
so
it. Don't miss it.
correct. Yeah, that's right, Miss Carol. Yep. So we're here. We're talking about. I have an article actually that we're listening to about the application Voice Stream Reader, and that's a popular app within the blind community. So let's listen to part 2 of the article.
Fortunately, the relationship between Voice Dream Reader's new owners and its engaged user base got off to a rocky start. Members of the online blind community did not find out about the sale of Voice Dream Reader last year from either the buyer or the seller. Instead, they found out because an indie developer who offers a product that competes in some ways with Voice Dream Reader discovered a new subscription option in a just-released build of Voice Dream Reader. He, not anyone associated with the app, broke the news to the blind community that subscriptions were on the way. When a developer moves from a one-off purchase model to a subscription-based model, it is always controversial, even if said company makes great efforts to communicate it thoroughly. When you add an unpopular change, the departure of a popular indie developer, and non-existent communication together, those ingredients add up to an inevitable firestorm. In the absence of information to the contrary, existing customers were concerned that they were about to be charged. Applause Group must have heard about the depth of feeling on the issue because they posted to a forum topic discussing the matter on Applevis. This is what Applause Group wrote back in 2023. Hi all, Voice Dream Team here. Existing users should not be affected and will continue to have access to the app. We are migrating to a subscription model only for new users. If you have any issues, please feel free to contact our support team. Having described this as a firestorm, I will mix my metaphors and say that this was the oil that needed to be poured on troubled waters. The fuss died down, and anecdotal evidence suggests that most people felt that this was a reasonable approach to take. Changing of the mind towards the end of March 2024, word started coming through that there had been a policy change. Starting on the 1st of May, all Voice Dream Reader users would be charged a subscription. For existing customers who had paid for the app in the past, they said a subscription would cost $59.95 USD per year, which they say is a discount on the $79 price they will usually charge. For that, you get all the voices they have to offer, plus it will work on iPhone, iPad, Mac and Apple Watch with the one subscription. They promise that a more consistent revenue stream will help them do many things, including expanding developer resources, keeping the app maintained, improving the app on Apple Watch and helping fund substantive new features including Amazon Kindle support, which is almost ready to go. What's it worth? $60 USD a year, let alone the full price, is high by Apple subscription standards. Some will decide that they don't get $60 worth of value from the app, and that's a reasonable, rational economic decision. If someone is selling something at a price point we don't wish to pay, then there's no sale. If sufficient people feel that way, then perhaps Applause Group will need to think again about their pricing model. However, we should not forget another important category of users. Given the nature of our community, where far too many of us are overlooked when it comes to employment, it's a category that is far too large. There will be some who will feel the loss of the app, but genuinely don't believe they can scrape up that kind of money. It is to Applause Group's credit that in response to feedback, they have introduced a monthly option as well as the annual one. Paying by the month works out slightly more expensive, which is typical. Companies usually incentivize paying by the year, which helps a company with its annual planning. Applause Group has actively been engaged in trust-building measures with the community in recent days. They didn't have to appear on Living Blindfoldly and face tough questions, but they fronted up, to their great credit. They have now also established a group on groups.io. As I write this, the group is very new, but it has already received a contribution from Keishan, and that is encouraging. Having run my own company and worked in several others, including in the blindness technology space, I'm sympathetic towards Applause Group and their need to find a sustainable business model for the app. If it were shut down because Applause Group considered it not to be viable, I would miss it. Not everyone can do so, but for now I am able to pay the subscription, and almost certainly will. There is, however, something that is leaving a sour taste. Users who are unwilling or unable to pay a subscription will lose the ability to add new content to their voice dream reader library, thus rendering the app useless once they have read all the current material they have uploaded to the app. To put it clearly, Applause Group wants existing customers to pay a second time to retain functionality they already paid for.
Mm, okay,
Mm-mm.
guys. That's a lot of information. Um, First off, yeah, they didn't break the news. It was a competitor to break the news of the subscription paid model. When a competitor does that, it looks bad on Paul's group, straight out, for not communicating with their users. And at that, a competitor is the one that let them get the heads up. And then you came back. Yes, you dropped a post, you talk, and you let people know. But then things change. Any opinion on the competitor um, letting people know, Carol?
I think, it was like a sneak attack. You have, Paul originally had this in place, and unfortunately he retired and did whatever he had to do, but you expect what you had, and then all of a sudden you're told, even the old users, that you have to pay again, you know
Hmm.
and even though you may get a discount, like you're saying, the 59, or to me that's $60 all around, 79 is $80 all around. That's a lot of cheddar to have to throw out, when I'm not expecting it.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and then posting that you will have access and all that, and then come out, here comes an update, and you're not. They want
And
you
you're
to,
not.
yeah, and you're not, and they're going back on their word. They want you to make a second purchase, and plus they were going to make the app useless, render it useless.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And that's
So
just probably the beginning. Who's to say that they want increase it every year? They have that option.
they do, and even in by Apple standards, it's the price is pretty high.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and also, yeah, there. So the person that wrote the article, he he likes the app that he's gonna remain subscribed, and I understand that's fine. But yeah,
Right.
he does mention a group of us in our community that do not work, that are in a fixed income, and
That's right.
$80 all around or doing it monthly. Um, the company banks on you to do it monthly. The price is a little larger and things like that. Um, so it online has been having a lot. It's the talk online right now. That I've been seeing around, and it's good that this article gives a big background on it. And it's sad that this company did not communicate, did not live up to the standards of the previous owner of the application. They probably just was seeing a product that they could make some income and update and enhance and make new features for, but
Right.
then they did not communicate. They didn't have an online presence like the previous owner did. I mean, and then you have the competitor come and take the carpet from under you.
Yes.
Basically, basically is what
Yes.
happened. And
Drop the ball.
they dropped the ball because they should have been on the group. They should have get feedback and stuff instead of just this is what it is. This is what it's gonna be. And now they're being caught up by Apple's terms and conditions. Um,
Yeah,
and
to
that's a
me, it's
mhm.
just awful. It's awful how, you expect something to stay the same. I mean, of course, nothing ever stays the same, but to just completely turn everything around is just unexpected. Like you say, pulling the carpet from under you, dropping the ball. Something's got to be done. Something's got to change.
Yes, yes, and so I know Apple's looking at this. I think they did violate according. Let's see, this matter is still in progress as we speak. So there will be updates, and I will be bringing those to you guys. But I wanted to bring this article because I know Voice Stream Reader is a popular app straight out in our community. With the voices, sound so smooth and stuff like that. People love it because of their voices, and I understand. If they and I might not know, but I know I have books that are audio books from other apps, and I'm able to get other books that are synthesized voices and the text. I wonder if I could bring those in and use those in that app. But it seems pretty good app to have for your notes, all that stuff that you might need.
I believe it is. It's just the pricing. I'm one of the people that fall in the category of a fixed income. I'm no longer working, retired, and just having to, reconfigure what I really truly need compared to what I want is, I hate to make those decisions, but if it's something I truly need, I have to sacrifice to get what I want.
Yeah, and I sometimes I have certain subscriptions that are high, so I just break them down to monthly. But I know people do have that option, and they sometimes usually take that option. So they said 80 per year when you pay it, right?
That's
Well,
correct.
monthly it might be 10. Let's say $10 a month, right?
Okay.
So that's already what? 10 times 12, 120. And it might be like $8, $7. Even there, you're passing 80 already. So at the long run, that will make you more money. And they might be banking on that. I don't want to put words in their company's mouth, but they might. But they needed to do their research. This is what a company does, their research and see what's up the community before they make a drastic move like this that is having a lot of feedback, a lot of blowback blowback online.
Sounds like we need to come up with our own app.
This is what kind of was what it was. It was done
Right.
by a single developer that was in the community doing this. and it got bought out by a bigger. It's like what a store buys out a
Right.
small department store or something, and they try to put sass or their style on it, and the store
Ta-da.
be yeah, and the store becomes unpopular.
Of course.
And that note, we're gonna cut to a quick break, guys, and we'll be back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
You are cordially invited to Blind United's scholarship ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Suletnik. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show.
All right, guys, and we're back. So in today's show, we're talking about the app Voice Stream Reader. For those that are joining us at this time, so it's a popular app within the blind community again, where you could read your documents, read your books, and all that good stuff. And I have one more part to the article that we're gonna take a listen to. Let's roll that clip.
Each of Apple's app review guidelines. When a developer publishes an app in the App Store, they must comply with Apple's app review guidelines. Apple gives unambiguous direction to developers about what to do, and most important in this case, what not to do, if they choose to change business models. Here's what Apple says in their own words. If you are changing your existing app to a subscription-based business model, you should not take away the primary functionality existing users have already paid for. For example, let customers who have already purchased a full game unlock continue to access the full game after you introduce a subscription model for new customers. There is no wiggle room here. By taking away primary functionality users already paid for, such as adding new material to the library, Voice Dream Reader does not comply with the guidelines. How to do it right. If you're connected to social media and monitor the mobile app scene, you'll know that when any company moves from a one-off purchase to a subscription model, they are going to get some hostile reactions. 2 apps I recall making such a move in recent times are the word processor called Ulysses, and the calendar app called Fantastical. Did those apps comply with Apple's requirements? Ulysses removed the old, one-off purchase app from sale, but it remained in the App Store for people who had purchased it. It was even maintained. This was 7 years ago, so I don't know if existing one-time purchase customers are still able to use the app given that operating systems evolve and can implement new features that cause third-party apps to break. The fact remains, though, that Ulysses customers, at the time of the transition, did not lose any of the functionality they bought. If customers wanted the shiny new features, then quite reasonably they had to subscribe. Fantastical transition to a subscription model in 2020. Again, those who had bought the app retained all the features they already had. There were even a few more thrown in. This generated goodwill, and for some, the new features being offered in the new subscription were compelling enough that people upgraded. Who knows whether these companies would have done this because it's the decent thing, but I am sure they did it because it's an Apple requirement. It is there, as clear as day. In Apple's guidelines, VoiceStream readers release notes make no mention of the subscription being forced on people who paid for the app already if they want to retain the functionality they paid for, and I suspect this has simply flown under Apple's radar. Even if you intend supporting the app by paying a subscription as I do, there is a moral issue here, as well as the need to speak up for those people who can't afford to subscribe right now and should not have their app rendered useless. What you can do: I encourage everyone to do two things. First, contact VoiceStream support and respectfully request that they comply with Apple's app review guidelines. They agreed to do so when they put the app in the store. Second, let Apple know what is going on. The guideline relating to how to handle a change to a subscription model is put there unequivocally to protect us, the consumer. We need Apple to step up and enforce the guideline. There are a couple of ways to alert Apple. Unfortunately, the best way appears only to be available to those with a developer account. If you have one, you can visit the Apple Developer Contact page and sign in with your Apple ID. You can choose to contact the app review team. After doing so, choose Report an App. Unfortunately, like many Apple websites, accessibility is not the best, but it is usable. If you do not have an Apple developer account, there appears to be no perfect way to convey your concerns to Apple. The best way I have found is to open the App Store, search for VoiceStream Reader, double tap to bring up the page for the app, scroll to report a problem, and double tap. You'll be taken to a web page which will know the app you are reporting. There is not a guideline violation option there, so you will need to choose the option you think most closely reflects your concern. Conclusion: I wish VoiceStream Reader every success for the future. I hope it is around for years to come, thriving. The trust-building measures taken by the company recently are encouraging, and I'm willing to pay for the next year to see if they deliver meaningful, regular updates. But they must do the right thing. If they don't, I feel sure there will be some so put off by the mistreatment of existing customers and the breach of the guidelines that they will withhold their subscription. I close with a message, perhaps even a plea, to Apple. One of the things you tout about the walled garden that is the App Store is that you can protect consumers. So please, do so now, to help get one of the apps that has won an Apple Design Award back on track. If this guideline violation is allowed to occur without reprisals, it will encourage others to do the same.
Okay. And yeah, guys, if they're violating Apple's guidelines, Apple should step in because this could happen across the board and set a new precedent, like a new precedent. Um, I'm telling you, this is a popular app and it had a big uproar online and the social media scene. Um, a lot of people were so hostile against this move from the company. And yes, $80 is a little hit to the wallet when you are in a fixed income, when you have to pay bills, live alone, and pay transportation, pay different things. You know, we have other subscriptions that we do have also. I've seen other applications switch to a subscription model. It has worked, and sometimes there's a lot of hostile people, and sometimes it's a bad move for a company. Um, but like the article saying, if the app does give you value and they are promising, they are saying that they are going to bring updates, incremental updates, they're going to add new features, and some people are going to subscribe and wait for those, but only time can tell if this is going to happen and come to fruition and they're going to keep their promise to the community. Um, Also, for those that have previously purchased the application, being cut off and having the app rendered useless is it's kind of it's bad. It looks bad on the company. We did purchase this product. They didn't communicate. They didn't go through the proper channels per se. Got on online, but even though they would have done that, they would have got some blowback and some people that were upset, but they could have maybe minimized that if they were more communicative with the community, been on social media where people are at, you know, and been more vocal and more, you know, and got that research. That research would have been key because getting all that feedback, you would have concluded to a certain option you could probably would have came with. And yes, I do understand that they do need to maintain the app and maintain it maintain it with these updates, make sure that it's running good, and when iOS updates to the latest firmware that no functionality is cut off, they will update that and continue with the incremental updates. Now, adding new features, I don't know what they have in store for the application. I would assume that they do have something lined up because they are pointing that they will be bringing features, and I wonder what type of features were those are going to be, how the future of the app is going to go. It seems like they're getting off on a rough start. I know they just made this acquisition, but it's a rough start for them. Um also also the I know they started a website. I think it was I can't recollect, but they have a website for people to go give feedback, and then so they can get it to their team. I think that's a right step in the right direction. Um but they have to be active in the community and see what they can do, because this could put off people and they can actually go to a competitor, and if the competitor has good features, got a better price, they might just stream reader might just fade out, you
That
know.
is true. That's true. You find something better, you'll drop them. They're
Yeah.
walking with dirty shoes right now.
Good one, Carol. Good one right there. But yeah, so I think they thought it was gonna be easy for them, you know, and it's turning out that people are, people are are becoming upset with that type of model that they want to introduce. Um, I wonder what's gonna happen. I know contacting Apple and make trying to report an app. Apple always has questions every time. Has when you want to give feedback and report things, they have already pre typed out solutions and questions and responses. So sometimes it's hard to get to the complaint that you really want to do, and type it out because they want you to choose from this category, and then from that category they got a few more topics or questions that you have to tap on, and they might not have that topic to uh to get feedback upon. So if you
And
do want to complain,
that's what the application was saying itself. You have to double tap on whatever's already pre-printed there, and it may, like you say, it be exactly what you need. It didn't
yeah,
say that it had a box where you could just type something in.
yeah, and it's like that too. I also have a developer's account with them.
Oh, okay.
um for us, and I think even for regular people, there's a feedback application from Apple.
Mm.
But it's like the website also. So I gotta double check that. I don't know if it's for the regular users now. I was hearing it was coming to the regular users, but as a developer account that I have, I get access to a few apps that they have. Um, but yeah, going to the app store, clicking on report app, and it will shoot you to a website, and you would take the proper steps right there make your complaint. And if you're one of those peoples that this is a lot to pay, go ahead and complain. And we should actually, it is not complaining, actually voice your voice. Nothing without us. That's how we should feel. We should be able to give our feedback for developers or anyone that is developing any type of product for the blind. If they're
Right.
not blind, they need feedback from a blind person,
That's right.
you know? Because, and then they're going to be like, here, this is what you need, and this is what I developed for you. And it might have a good feature, but it might miss a lot of features. It might miss. So, making your research, communication goes a long way.
Because I know technology is expensive, but you think of how many people actually have this app. And, just $60 around the board, that's a lot of money on a yearly basis. And then someone new having to pay the $80. You just think of how many people actually have the app and get to adding that up. And I mean, I know technology is expensive, but is it really that necessary? And what features are you going to actually advance or do?
Correct. Yeah, yeah. And they haven't, I know they might not want to make it public and let us know what type of features they might bring to, but, you know, they need to communicate more. Um, let's see what's gonna happen in this scene. I will be bringing updates. I will keep an eye out for these stories because this is a popular app within the blind community.
Right, right.
Yeah, and then at that point we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
You are cordially invited to Blind United Scholarship Ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Subotnick. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show.
All right, guys. I will see you there also. So
Sounds like I need to book a trip from Dallas, Texas to California on Spirit Airlines.
hey, those bag charges are going up though. I think I'm just gonna hide in a box in the luggage and just be like, just pay just pay that and put me
Just
in
pay
the
that.
yeah.
I'm small enough to go in the compartment above. I just would
Oh
have to get
wow.
someone else to bring me.
Oh wow, that's funny.
It wouldn't
But
be comfortable though, but I could get up there.
yes, yes. Oh wow. But in that note, guys, this my conclusion for this article and what I think is they didn't do their research, they didn't communicate, and they dropped the ball. And a competitor came and swept the carpet under them and dropped it on social media and dropped that bomb, and boom, the blowback came. And I think they got blindsided. No pun intended there, but that's what I think happened. They got blindsided,
Good
honestly.
one. Right.
Then now they might know how it feels when we crash into a pole that we didn't saw.
Right. Right.
At that point,
Ouch.
and your conclusion, Carol?
I just hope that, it's worth every penny that they're asking. I hate the way that it came out, and that, like you said, they dropped the ball. Like they're walking with dirty shoes. Everybody that utilizes this, it's something that's needed, and it just always puts me back into the mind to where you have to pay extra for something that's really needed when you can't see. And it's just unfortunate how these things just come about. It
And
should
you're
be an easier way.
yeah, and you're right about that. It seems like products for people that are disabled, especially for blind people, they're double the charge. I know I could
Yes,
go on Amazon and buy a microwave, right?
right,
But if I wanted a microwave that would tell me what am I pressing and things like that, that is easy. That they already have a beeping device in there. They already have like a speaker, right?
right.
They upcharges up to 300-400 bucks.
Yes, and it's not that big.
And it's not that big, exactly.
Nope,
And it's not even that big. Some of the features are missing. Some of the stuff is missing because they just want to bank on it is accessible.
that's right.
But if you
People
do
that get
buy, go ahead,
anything
Carol.
talking, people with talking blood pressure machines, you know,
Yeah,
it just you have to pay extra, and it's just awful, you know.
it's correct, and that's true in so many levels. I know Amazon. If you buy an Amazon-enabled microwave that is an Amazon brand, they do sell a little plastic cover that goes over the button so you can feel the buttons.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like $1 or so, but they made that to make their microwaves accessible. And it's like a low cost, and that's what we might need. We might need a microwave to connect to our phones, but we do have uh, a group of people that are not tech savvy like myself, and I understand that point. And that upcharge is it's up there. It's up there.
It
Even with
is.
even with our reading devices like our Victor or cam. Um, Even sometimes when we get a Windows machine from our state, there's surplus charges on top of that, you know. And
I
there
mean,
are
Apple doesn't charge more for the phone, so we can use the voiceover. So it should be that way with all the other products. We should pay the same as visual people for everything. But that's a different, I guess, world I live in, right? It's too much like
yeah,
right.
yeah. That is one thing of Apple. Their accessibility features, they just come built in. They come
Right,
smoothly. Um, I know JAWS does cost money. I know there is companies that help with that. If you need like a computer or something like that, um, they have them like let's say 100 to 200 bucks, something like that, with a one user license. I forgot the company's name, but there are companies that help within that because when it comes to our products, they are high in price range, and that may be due to them banking that the state or the Department of Rehab is going to buy them for the persons that they have as clients, and they feel like they can just upcharge and that puts the people that do not qualify to get these services, leaves them
like
out.
myself.
It leaves
Leaves me out.
them out. And we have another group of people that became disabled, and they have property and they have assets, but when they want some help because this is something new and they need some training or they need a new device, their only option sometimes is liquidate your assets, basically is what they're saying. Your
Yep,
livelihood, your shelter, your home. And
that's
that's
me.
not right.
I
And
do
that
not have I don't wanna sell my home, you know? I don't wanna have to write it over just to get some help.
and that's wrong. And we might need to petition for that. We might need
Right.
to make a resolution happen. We might need to go to DC because if, let's say, for our visual viewers, something, God forbid, something happens and you become disabled and now you need a little more help, but you're retired.
Right.
They want you to get rid of your expensive assets so you could cover yourself.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Then your home's gone. They want you to get on a waiting list to get into an apartment that might be 10 years in front of you.
That's right. And I
And
put it in. I put money in. I worked for 32 years straight at the same job.
and
But,
now
now, I have to give away my home or liquidate or my stocks just to get some help now that I can't see. And
and
that's just wrong.
yeah, look, basically we have it, like in Carol's case, she worked, did the American dream, bought her home and
That's
everything,
right.
paid her taxes. Now
Yes.
that she became disabled, now the only option she may only have is to she needs to sell her home, and then what? That's her shelter. And
Right.
that may need to change.
Of course. Of course. Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future, and let's hope things get better. And you know how the landscape sometimes changes and things like that.
They
But
will.
you shouldn't be giving up your American dream just to get a little bit of help.
No. No.
You know,
And thank God for organizations like Blind United to, offer all of these things with the technology, with psychology, therapy, just cooking, just different things that are offered through Blind United. You all definitely need to join in. And you don't pay anything.
and yeah, correct, guys. Those classes are free to for whoever wants to join. You know, that's info@blindunited.org. I am one of the instructors for the iOS advanced class. I do cover intermediate topics. We just covered the Shortcuts app. And even on that demonstration, I was having an issue with the app. I figured it out. But, you know, we come together and provide these services like the support group where people get together and we bring tools that they could use to unstress. We have basic iPhone with Ed on Sundays. He bringing his he's putting the work in right there for those beginner iPhone users. We have JAWS too. We have JAWS classes. So if you're getting a new machine and you need JAWS training and the state don't want to provide it, we can offer that. And we all volunteer here. We just want to bring access to all. Um, that's what we want to bring, and we want to bring everybody together and make this happen for everybody. And just
And
come
you all
join
are
us.
excellent. You all are excellent. I'm learning to speak Spanish through Blind United. I mean, it's just so much. I get so excited every time, you know. I that's why I say I need to book a flight from Dallas, Texas to California on Spirit. That's about the cheapest airline I can get.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, because yes, we're getting together as you heard. We have a scholarship that we're giving out. So you could come join us that day. The contact email is there. Also, if you want a flyer digitally, info@blindunited.com. You're welcome. You're welcome to email us and get that flyer. So come join us. So I
And
hope
if I'm not able to make it, then I'll just donate. Donations are welcome, correct?
yes, you could go to our website and click that donate button. We really appreciate that. So we could keep bringing you the support groups, the interest groups, the technology groups, and um, all the resources we put out. We put out resources from all over the place. So we want to be united with everybody and our community. We want to stand united with one voice. And any last words, Carol?
No, I've just really enjoyed everything. I'm educated on this Vista thing, and hopefully, we can get it all resolved. Everybody have a fantastic Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So that's right, guys. So visit us at Blind United. I'm Pedro, and we're out.